No nonsense gin drinking. All gin and a surprising amount of nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, we have a rather unique looking gin on the show because you might be forgiven for thinking that I have just extracted this from my shelf over there because I do this show in my garage where there are various, I don't know, engine sort of parts and lubricants and fuels and cleaning stuff which have been there for many, many years. There's a bag of cement down there that's gone hard. However, you would be mistaken because I am reliably led to believe that this is in fact edible gin or drinkable gin, and it goes by the name of Engine Pure Organic Gin, and I don't think we've had one in a metal receptacle before. The squid one, I think the squid ink one, that had a metal, and that wasn't very nice. So I'm hoping this one will break that trend. Also, you may have noticed I've got my house hoodie on today. That's because well, to be honest, it is quite cold here in the UK. However, now I've started the show, it is getting a little bit warm, so I think actually I might abandon it. So my friends, let's crack on and find out what this rather strange looking gin is all about. Now I have to say, their website is the most extraordinary website I've ever seen. It's like some sort of interactive kind of metaverse style walk around room and you can click on all sorts of different things. However, it was too complicated for its own good because it kept crashing several times. And also, could I find out anything about the gin? Could I bollocks, to use a British phrase? So what I've had to do, I've had to go on a different website. This is hardtofindwhiskey.com, which is what where I order some of my gins from. So we shall be gleaning the information from there. Engine is a craft organic gin produced in small batches with vacuum distillation and using 100% Italian botanicals. Now then, should I be doing my Italian accent in that case? The trouble is, I think the Italian, I don't know why. I think one day, as you know, I like to do the accents on this show, but I fear I'm going to get in trouble for it one day. So for this one, I'm going to, I think the Italian accent may have gone a little bit too far. It's a sad world, I know. We can't do each other's accents. However, I don't want to get taken off YouTube after 3 years of doing this. So for this one, I will stick to my British accent. The unique motor oil can design is inspired by founder Paolo Dalla and his passion for engines. Its formula is linked with Italian and, oh God, what does this say? Piedmont tradition? I've no idea. Paying tribute in its composition to those Rosolias? Oh, apparently there it says in brackets here, sweet liqueurs, cordials and liquors made from sage and lemon, which in the past were ancient digestive remedies. Why would you need a remedy for digestiveness? Oh, indigestion. There you go. It is produced with completely organic ingredients from a controlled Italian supply chain. Alcohol from wheat, juniper from Tuscany, sage from, oh God, here we go again, Piedmont and Liguria. Apologise for people from Piedmont and Liguria if I'm saying that wrong, which I almost certainly am. Lemon from Sicily and Amalfi Coast. Licorice from I've zoomed out too much, from roots from Calabria and damask rose and water from the Alps. Well, my friends, that sounds bloody good to me. Sounds like, oh good, the phone cover's gone over. Sounds like a kind of a traditional gin to me with the addition of the damask rose water. It's pretty sort of standard ingredients there, so botanicals, sorry. So I say we crack on, get the top open and see what it's like. So then we don't have a cork, we do have a little bit of tape on the top there. I'm not entirely sure what that's for, never mind. We have a screw top, there we go. Let's get the fellow screwed open. Hopefully we don't have anything else. We don't. I was going to have a cheeky sniff before we started then, but I won't do that, of course. Oh dear. You'd think that would be a clean pour. Unfortunately, that has gathered quite a bit on the edge there, which is rather frustrating. Don't worry, I'll slurp it off in a bit. So let's have a snifferoo of it. A snifferoo? That's not a word that gets used often enough, isn't it? I'll have a snifferoo. So it's kind of a sniff from a kangaroo, perhaps. I don't know. I make this up as I go along. Hard to believe, I know. So here we go. Wow, I say, there's definitely nothing oily or petroleumy, if indeed that's a word, about this. It's kind of, as you'd imagine, kind of just a standard gin smell, but there's something slightly sort of thicker and viscous about it. A hell of a lot of lemon in there, but it smells like kind of an oily, sort of slightly thicker sort of lemony, and yeah, a tiny dingle of rose perhaps. As we know, I'm not the biggest fan of rose on this show. However, as we know, you can use botanicals that you perhaps aren't that keen on in very, very small ways. They can actually complement things. So I think that sounds bloody good. Let's get the fella in the mouth. So here we go, tonic going in. Someone criticised me heavily the other day, said I don't know what I'm doing because you should be drinking gin first of all with soda water, then with ice and then neat. Oh, off, I'll do it how I want. Sorry about that, I got a bit carried away. But you know, sometimes it annoys me when people criticise me. I'm not very good at taking criticism, sadly. Shame I do a YouTube channel, isn't it, really? So my friends, here we go. Thanks, as always, I say at this point in the show, to my wonderful patrons and my YouTube members who are literally paying for the gin on the show. They paid for that gin, they paid for that gin, they paid for all this gin. Well, not all of it, because in the beginning I had to pay for it myself, but they paid for a lot of gin on the show. So here we go. I say to everyone, Engine pure organic gin out of an organic, I don't know if it's an organic tin, I don't know, it just rhymed quite nicely. Pure organic gin out of an organic tin. Oh, I f***ed that up. Anyway, here we go. Cheers. Wow. Gin lovers, that I'm going to put it on the iPad there, that's a bit risky, isn't it? What the hell, I'm a risk taker on this show, or actually that's slightly too big a risk. I'm not actually as much as a risk taker as I thought. Wow, gin lovers, wow. This is a curious one because it does taste a little bit strange. However, hang on, let me just try, hang on. Do you know what? This is going to sound weird, but it does taste a little bit engine oily, and that is the last thing I was expecting to ever say on this show, because I think obviously it looks like an engine oil tin, but you'd think, yeah, it looks like engine oil, but obviously it's not going to taste like it. Does a little tiny bit. However, I think that might be slightly psychological. So what I think is going on there, as I say, the flavours are quite thick and heavy. The lemon, just as in the aroma, it's quite an oily kind of lemony sort of scent to it, a taste to it, and it's almost quite difficult to swallow. It feels like it's a thick, sort of viscous gin, a bit like oil, I suppose. And it kind of hangs around in the mouth that you swallow, and there feels like a bit of a slick there. Now, that doesn't sound particularly pleasant, but actually, it's not too bad. Now, what I think with that, I don't know. This might be talking, oh God. I might be talking a load of old rubbish here, but I think that what I thought was engine oil, and this is going to make no sense, there is a kind of a heavy roseness about it, and that rose can be quite a dull, unsweet flavour. I'm not exactly sure how you describe it. It's more of a sort of a heavy, musky sort of flavour, and they have used that quite heavily in there. Not what you think. It's not sort of a rosy kind of exterior, is it? But it is quite thick and heavy in there, and I think that's what's sort of bogging it down a little bit. However, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's kind of different. It's not what I'm used to. I'm kind of glad it's got a bit of character and personality. And hang on a second. It kind of grows on you. I'm sure the makers, if they're watching this, they're almost certainly not. They're probably thinking, Jesus Christ, you say it tastes like oil. It doesn't taste like oil. That was a psychological thing. But there is a kind of a thick and heaviness in there. And I think it's the rose in conjunction with the lemon. However, each time I sip it, I'm getting a little bit more into it. It's kind of an acquired taste, okay? First time you try it, if you get hold of some of this on this recommendation, it's going to be, you're going to think, And yeah, I'm probably paraphrasing slightly there, but you're going to think this tastes a bit weird. But what I'm telling you, stick with it, because it actually kind of sort of gets under your skin and it's not too bad. However, my friends, what is it going to be like neat? Well, I'll tell you what I could do. This bit that I talked about earlier that has gathered along the edge there, I might slurp it directly out of there. So here we go. Here. Oh dear. Nope, not enough there to actually taste. So let's get some in maybe if I pour it a bit quicker. There we go, that's the trick there. If you're going to pour this, pour it a bit quicker or it does gather in the edge. So let's try it out on my beautiful and wonderful, no-nonsense gin drinking mug. I will do a close-up of it actually in an effort to try and sell at least one of these things because I'm literally, I don't think I've recovered the initial cost of buying this one. Anyway, here we go. Oh, that's a lot. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's the sort of thing that wine drinkers do, isn't it? Okay, they don't do that usually, I just inhaled a little bit, but personally, that's a little bit harsh for me. A little bit harsh. What percentage was it? I didn't tell you what percentage it was it? It is 42%. Tastes a little bit kind of even more thick and kind of a bit of a more heavy licorice sort of notes to it. In fact, I think the licorice might have been what I was detecting earlier on in conjunction with the rose as well, actually. It's come more to the fore in the neat gin. Definitely heavy on the licoricey side there. Personally, gone a little bit too far in that heavy thickness that I was talking about. So I reckon that's definitely, if you're going to try it, definitely a gin and tonic. However, my friends, what is this going to cost you? Now, just bear in mind, it is a slightly smaller one. It's a 500 ml. Okay, so it's slightly smaller than the 700 we usually have. Now, but I have good news, my friends. Even at that smaller bottle, it's a very good price. It's around about £25 in here in the UK. That's about $30 and about the same in euros. And as we all know, I like the mainstream gyms to stay under that £30 mark if I can. And I'd say that's not even a mainstream gym, to be honest. So I think that is an excellent price, whatever the taste of the gin. Well, you know, to within reason. So guys, to sum up, a fascinating little gin today. I don't think anything's thrown me quite like this for a while now. As I say, bit of a weird one with the packaging, but I quite like it. And it's, like I say, it's a taste that will grow on you. Well, I hope it will anyway, but just, I would say, be prepared for a slightly sort of slow start and sort of, maybe you have to sort of kind of adjust a little bit, change gear and just go, just allow yourself, take a glass of it, take a few sips and allow yourself to sort of settle and adjust into it. And I reckon, I don't know for sure, but I think I like to know my gin lot. I like to think, oh God, I like to think I know my gin lovers and my fans by now. I reckon you will probably end up liking it, but I'll be fascinated to hear what you think of it. So when you try it, if you can get a hold of it, let me know what you think in the comments in the section below. So guys, that's me done for another day. Thank you for watching my video. Hope you found this useful and informative. If indeed you did, don't forget to subscribe to my show, press the little like button on the video, and if you want to support the show like my lovely patrons do, head over to the Patreon page, or indeed my YouTube members if you want to join them. Click the button below this video. But until next time, guys, you all know the drill. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my members and my patrons, and of course, keep drinking the gin.